everybody, and good morning and happy Sunday. I know I've been a little MIA for the past week. It's just that I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, and I thought it would be a very good time for me to come back to you guys and give you guys another awesome episode. Today's episode is topic is going to be about what it means to be an entrepreneur. I decided to become an entrepreneur when I was about, I want to say when I was about 13 years old. And the reason was because I wanted to create my own life and create my own future where I wasn't necessarily connected to a job in a building that didn't inspire me, that didn't want to help me grow. And it's actually something that I've noticed over the years, and as I've grown and as I've entered into the job force and the workforce, that a lot of big employers seem to forget that without their employees and without their customers, they wouldn't have all the wealth and the growth and the success and the increase in their businesses. And I had always imagined and envisioned myself as being my own CEO of my own large company, but never ever forgetting about the people who helped me get there, the people who are continuously increasing the success of the company that I started. And there's something that I want to share with you guys, and one of the things is that when it comes to being a successful entrepreneur and a successful business owner, the most important thing that you have to understand is that it's all about connecting with people. Now, nowadays, people aren't going to just buy any old thing just because you sell it. You know, there's a lot of business owners, whether it's a physical brick and mortar business or a business that's online, no one is going to step into your door if you don't, one, market your business to the correct audience or niche that your products are for, and two, if they don't know you exist. You know, a lot of people open Etsy stores and they open up shops on Shopify or Big Cartel, and they just expect out of nowhere for everyone on the internet to just be alerted that they exist and that there's going to be a flood of money just coming in. You know, you read a lot of success stories. I read recently on a Shopify blog that a man who had only $40 to his name started his Shopify account in his store, and he got one of his friends to invest in him, and he started selling hiking gear online. And in the beginning, you know, he was making pretty good money, and then after a while he wanted to know how he could make more. So he began to, you know, advertise on Facebook, and, you know, he couldn't even pay for the advertisements on Facebook. So he again asked his friend to invest, and his friend believed in him and in his business, and he invested in him. And because he knew exactly who he wanted to sell to, and he got in front of that audience, he made over $80,000 in a month. You know, but that wasn't just, oh, put up an ad, boom, you got people. No, that's not how any business works. You know, if you look at it from the point of view of a consumer, when you have a product, you know, if Nike comes out with a new shoe, well, how will we know that? How will we know that Nike has just come out with a new type of shoe? There are TV ads, there are ads on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, there are celebrity endorsements, there are people talking about it. And that is the only way for anyone to ever know that Nike has made a new shoe, or Nike has come out, or Gatorade has come out with another, you know, new flavor. You know, it's about marketing, and it's about getting it out there in front of as many faces as you can. And the same thing goes for if you're a small business owner. If you make handmade quilts or blankets. Nobody is going to know you exist if you just turn the open sign and open the door. People aren't going to just start flying in because people don't know you exist. When you become an entrepreneur, that's kind of one of the first things you want to think about is that there's this quote that says, if you are not embarrassed by the way your product or your website looks, you may have opened too late, or you may have released it too late. And that's true, and it's always better to get started now. It's new. If you get it out there and you get it in front of people and people like it, people like it. The first draft is always not the best, whether it's writing or whether it's the first draft of a product or the first draft of a website. It's never the best. It's never going to be beautiful. It takes time for you to tweak it. Even with my website for Young Goddess Official, where I make different t-shirts, I spent hours trying to make sure it looked good. But the first website and the first logo, it didn't feel like it was me and the kind of brand that I wanted to get out there. So I re-released another logo and I re-released more shirts, and some of the shirts were hideous and ugly, and I was just like, I can't handle this. So I went back and I reworked it and I redesigned some things and I made it better, and they're out in the store now. And now I'm marketing and I'm trying to get more and more people in front of it to see it. And there's this quote by Zig Ziglar that says, if you give enough people what they want, you will eventually get what you want. And that's so very true. It's so, so very true. And it's all about connecting with people. A lot of business owners and entrepreneurs know for a fact that without people, your business would not be successful. Without people taking an interest in what you have, whether it's your products, if it's a person who's working for you, if they don't have an interest and they are not attracted to it, they're not going to buy it and they're not going to want to work for you. There has to be something about your business that keeps people wanting to stay. And that's in any business. And connecting with people is one of the most important things in business. Instead of just seeing a person as a dollar sign or as a number or as just a replaceable employee, but treating people with the respect that they deserve and seeing them more. A lot of small business owners realize this, and that's why they're so successful. And the company that I also work for as well, doing marketing, this is kind of something that he has taught me. He has made himself and his company over $200 million online, and he started out as a homeless man living in his van in Hawaii. And he was so close to wanting to give up, but he kept pushing and pushing and pushing until he made his first $30,000 in a month. And then he created this company, and it was all about selling informational products online for people who wanted to be online business owners, to market and to grow their businesses. And he believed firmly in the person. He's like, it does not matter what product you have or what you're selling, but connecting to people on a deeper level and showing them that you're not just a dollar sign to me. I actually care about you is what makes people want to stay and makes people want to work with you and makes people want to buy from you. Because people don't buy products. They buy the person. The same thing with a brand. People don't buy Chanel because they really like Chanel. People buy the name. If you take a Chanel jacket and you take a jacket that's an off-brand, probably looks exactly the same as that Chanel jacket. Probably made of the same exact materials. But that Chanel jacket costs thousands of dollars, while that other jacket may cost about $50. People buy the name because the name means something. People buy Chanel for Chanel. Not because of the products and the clothing. Maybe the clothing is a little bit higher quality. But I don't think it's $1,500 worth of higher quality. People buy the name Chanel because of the name Chanel. People buy Balenciaga because of the name Balenciaga. It's a brand. It's a very famous brand. And people are willing to pay for it because they know its quality and its worth and its story. And the same thing with the gentleman that I know and who helped me, David Wood. He showed me all of this and taught me all of this, that, you know, before, when it came to business, I used to think like the employers that I used to work for, you know, try my hardest to get the next sale. But that's not what it's about. It's about connecting with people on a deeper level, finding out what they want, why they want it, and how you can help them get what they want. Because like Zig Ziglar said, if you help enough people get what they want, you will eventually get what you want. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. We're now coming to an age where it is a little bit more difficult to sell to people, to market to people. The average person sees over 1,000 ads in a day. Over 1,000 ads in a day. And it's getting trickier and trickier and trickier to sell to people without connecting to something in them, without connecting to their hearts. You can no longer just display a link and throw it out there and say, hey, take this, you know. There's no more of you doing that. You can't just say, buy this, buy this, buy this, without a person wanting to know why. Why is this beneficial to me? How is this going to help me? What is this going to do for me? You know, back in the old days, yeah, you could do that. You could just say, buy this. And people will be like, okay, sure. But nowadays, people are getting smarter and smarter about their choices they make with their money, and they are getting wiser about what it is that they want instead of just blindly following. When it comes to being an entrepreneur, you have to have a certain amount of determination because it's very hard. And most of the time, it's your fault. Because it's, at the end of the day, if you are a solo entrepreneur and you're the CEO and you're the head of your own business, the decisions that you make are the decisions that you make, whether they are good or whether they're bad. There's consequences. And I've made a lot of bad decisions in my business, and I paid for it. And I've been frustrated, and I've been upset, and I've gotten sad, and I've gotten depressed. And, you know, dealing with all of that has made me grow stronger as a business person. You know, learning more and more and more about my market and about who I'm trying to reach and who I want to help has allowed me to grow a lot more in my business. And even though I hold myself to a high standard and I believe that I can achieve and accomplish so much more, I still have my moments of weakness when I get super, super down about if something wasn't finished or done when I wanted it to be, or I didn't get the response that I wanted. And, you know, at those moments, I want to quit. I want to stop. I want to say, what is the point? You know, no matter how hard I try, it doesn't work. You know, but no one ever said being an entrepreneur was easy. No one ever said that owning something that is your own was going to be easy. Building a business is never easy. You know, I read somewhere, a gentleman once said that it took him 5 years of struggle for it to look like an overnight success. And people don't see the struggle. People don't see the doubt, the frustration, the failures. People see the success. So you look like an overnight success. You look like, wow, you made how much in a month? That's crazy. You made $100,000 in a month selling t-shirts? You made $100,000 in a month selling ebooks and coaching? Wow, you're an overnight success. No. There was months and months of grueling work, of pain, of sadness, of doubt, of frustration, of, crying yourself to sleep because you're trying to figure out why something isn't working, why no one's believing in you, and why did you have to choose this? There's a whole lot of doubt behind that so-called overnight success. No one is an overnight success. Oprah was an overnight success. She was fired from her first job on television, and she was told that she wasn't even good enough for television. But look at her now. She went through so much to get to having her own show, and then owning it, and then owning the rights to that show, and then having her own channel. People don't understand. People want the success, but they don't want to put the work that is necessary to get the success. There's a lot of YouTubers here on YouTube who started because they wanted to make videos. And in the beginning, when YouTube was kind of a barren market and nobody knew about it, it was a whole lot easier. People making funny videos, doing skits, making their own little mini movies, makeup tutorials, all of that. Sometimes it was just an escape, from your everyday life to show a hobby that you had to the rest of the world. And then as it grew and grew and grew and got bigger and bigger and bigger, many people like Michelle Phan was able to do big things with their lives. I don't think she ever thought she would be a business owner and that she would help so many women, love themselves for who they are and be so kind and caring and help thousands of young girls. I don't think she ever thought that would happen when she used to come home after working at her mom's nail salon and just put up a camera and just put on some makeup. I don't think she ever thought that would happen, but it did. A lot of people who are on YouTube want to be like Michelle Phan or Crispy or all these other big guru makeup girls. It's my Ray Ray, all of them. But it all started with one video. And that first view. And the views get bigger. The comments start coming in. The subscribers get bigger and bigger. And all of a sudden, you're an overnight success. Until you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going. And in a day, you have 100,000 views on one video. Boom, another overnight success. There is no such thing as an overnight success. Anything that is ever worth working for in life, you have to work for. There are things in life that is worth having. You need to work for it. There is no such thing as an overnight success.